founder and CEO of Share Love Fund. Today, I welcome you to our prenatal yoga teacher training. We are at week 29 already, so congratulations, week 29 of week 52, and we are going to go over Thunderbolt pose. So that will be our pose of the week. Thunderbolt pose is like this, and just easy peasy sitting down. We'll warm up to it with a meditation to start off with, Thunderbolt pose. So as you know, this program was designed originally for the incarcerated women at Rikers Island in New York. No tests or quizzes. You will earn your RPYT, Registered Prenatal Yoga Teacher Training degree, an 85-hour Yoga Alliance accredited course with no tests or quizzes, but the course is based on repetition. So that is why we have a pose of the week. We'll start off with a meditation so we can enjoy Thunderbolt pose. As always, please feel free to modify. You don't need fancy blocks or bolsters. As discussed, this program was created for incarcerated women, so anything will do. You can sit down, crisscross applesauce. You can sit on a book if you want to be elevated. You can sit in a chair on the edge of a bed. Anything will do. When you're pregnant, circulation may be a problem. So if you feel your feet falling asleep, please feel free to adjust. And I'm going to give everyone a minute to just find a comfortable seated position. Go off and grab a blanket, pillow, whatever you need. We have time. That is the beauty of an hour-and-a-half class, is that we just have a minute to breathe. We have some breathing room. So, okay, go get what you need to get comfortable. I will do the same, and I will see you in 1 minute. If a candle helps you focus, I implore you to do that. This was a gift to our yoga school, the Edelweiss candle from Switzerland. So that is really nice. So we will put that here. I think it's a little bit off camera. That's the focal point. Water, hydration, whatever you need, maybe to silence your phone. Just take a minute to do what you need. Okay, assuming everyone has what they need, we will begin this meditation. Thank you for joining. So this meditation is a guided imagery for centering and grounding. As a pregnant person, it could be a little scary. Your body is going through a lot of changes, and at the same time, your family is preparing to welcome a new baby, and or maybe give it up for adoption, or things are very, there's many possibilities these days. There's no one traditional family. So there's a lot going on. So in this time where the physical body's changing, the mind is anticipating changes that are going to come through the pregnancy and birthing process, this is a really good time to slow down, check in, and stay grounded. An oak tree can weather many storms because its roots are deep. So today, right now, we're going to use this meditation to grow some roots and nurture ourselves. Please take a deep breath with me. Inhaling light and love, and exhaling all that doesn't serve you. As you breathe, try to let go of tension in your body. Maybe you're holding it in your neck, in your back, in your shoulders. You can have your eyes closed during this process. Please don't strain your neck to look at the video. Nothing is more important than you using this as an opportunity to relax your body. And so don't look at me. Move your body the way your body needs to move. I'm only here as a guide, just to kind of motivate you. But once you have that motivation, you're good on your own. So we'll take one more breath together and we'll start. You may practice this meditation in a seated position or either on a chair or in the ground. So since this is week 29, Thunderbolt pose, we're practicing it in Thunderbolt pose. But feel free to modify Thunderbolt pose. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position. Adjust your body as needed until you are comfortable and alert. So I would just wiggle a little bit and then fall into it. Maybe move your head from side to side. And start focusing on the fluidity of your breath. And we're going to spend a little time here, a little bit uncomfortable time to get comfortable, because in my experience, that's when the body really lets go. Keep breathing. Try to make your exhales longer than your inhales, as that can be extremely relaxing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now do the inhalation and exhalation at your own pace. Again, trying to think about the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Letting the shoulders drop. Seeing if the tailbone can sink deeper to the ground, really trying to grow roots. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So now your body has sort of given up fighting the tension and is fully ready to begin. Sense the support under your legs, or if you're seated in a chair, the cushion or the ground, and feel the ground is offering support to your body in the places that your body is connected to the ground. Feeling that support, allow your pelvis and buttocks to really fall down to the ground and your upper body to elongate in an alert and upright posture. So really bringing this down and then trying to bring our upper body up while keeping our shoulders down. So if it helps to sort of lift up with your arms, but then relax them. Eyes eye level. And believe it or not, but this is exercise. So this is actually working your core. So when you are pregnant and feeling less mobile, this actually has a benefit, plus the mindfulness. Your shoulders are stacked directly over your hips and dropping downwards. Rest your hands on your lap or your knees. Release the weight of the arms to gravity. Gently close your eyes and begin to be aware of your entire body. As you breathe, think about your feet, think about your breath, think about all the little parts of your body. Breathe in and out, thinking of your breath as a circle with no start or end. In and out. In and out. Thinking about having your exhale longer than your inhale. In and out. In and out. Your feet, your legs, thighs, pelvis, and lower back. Your upper back, shoulders, abdomen and ribs, chest, arms, neck, and head. Just being aware of yourself as a physical being. Now bring your awareness to your breath and the actual physical sensations that manifest when you breathe. Feel each breath as it comes in and goes out. Allow the breath to be just as it is, without trying to change or regulate it in any way. Allow it to flow easily and naturally in its own rhythm and pace, knowing you are breathing perfectly well right now. Allow the body to be still. And as you sit here, feel a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of complete wholeness in this very moment, a sense of being complete and fulfilled, with your posture reflecting the sense of wholeness. Use this as an opportunity to sit confidently. Sit confidently in stillness to the extent that feels prenatal safe. If your body is telling you to move, then pregnant people can fidget all they want. Circulation is key. So nothing herein shall be construed as medical advice, but to the extent it feels good, roll those shoulders back, open that heart, and be proud. This can be a power pose. Take a moment on that. Pregnant and powerful is our motto at Share Love Fund. Pregnant and powerful because we trained the world paddle tennis champion, Florentina Henish, and she won. And the yoga helped, but she did the work, and it was really a mind game. Feeling powerful, aligned, breathing, centered, and still. One of my favorite things to say to students is if you don't know where you're going, then don't go. There's answers in silence. As you sit here in still calmness, bring to mind a magnificent mountain that you have either seen or one that you can imagine. Gradually allow your imagination of this mountain to come to focus. Have an overall sense of the mountain shape, high and low peaks, its base, its steep and gently sloping slopes, as well as the large base of bedrock that the mountain is rooted in. Notice how beautiful, unmoving, and majestic the mountain is. What other aspects of the mountain can you see? Maybe the highest peak is disappearing into the low-hanging clouds. Or there are streams and waterfalls cascading down the slopes of the mountain. Some rocks are protruding on the slopes, or a part of the mountain is covered with trees. Now embody the qualities of the mountain. See yourself as majestic, unmovable, and as still as the mountain. When thoughts come into mind that make you feel out of control, such as your body's getting bigger, try to turn that around. Give it an attorney spin, if you will. My background as an attorney, this is what we do. Give it an attorney spin and say, wow, I am becoming a strong, solid mountain. So try to, whatever is happening, try to make it a positive. If someone is being really horrible and hurtful to you, you can say, wow, I'm really courageous today to endure this, or wow, I'm glad I don't treat people like that. So everything can be turned into positive. You just have to make the effort. Notice how beautiful, unmoving, and majestic the mountain is. Seeing your body as a majestic, still, and unmoving mountain. Your legs rooted to the ground like bedrock. And you are held firmly to the ground beneath your legs. Grounded in this Thunderbolt posture. Your head becomes the lofty peak of the mountain, supported by the rest of your body and affording a panoramic view. Your shoulders and arms and sides of the mountain, your bottoms, legs, and solid base rooted to your cushion of your chair. Experience your body a sense of uplift from deep within your pelvis and spine. With each breath as you continue sitting, becoming a little more like a breathing mountain, a little more alive and vital, yet unaware of the outside as you focus inward. You are unwavering in your inner stillness. If your body needs to move a little bit because you're pregnant, that's fine, but that inner stillness can be mental. It can be your focus. If your feet are kind of falling asleep, you can curl the toes under and do a modification and stretch out the plantar fascia, which can also get really tight during pregnancy. So this can be a foot stretch to curl the toes under and really stretch that plantar area. With each breath, as you continue sitting, becoming a little more like a breathing mountain, alive and vital, completely what you are, beyond words, thoughts, a centered, grounding, unmoving presence. And we can think of a mountain and all the life that it holds. It's home to animals, and it has moss and bushes and berries and birds nesting. So it's so alive and so changing. The mountain might have snow in winter and flowers in spring. So it's alive and it's changing, yet it's unmoving. How can we apply that in our daily lives? How can we go through this pregnancy alive and changing, yet feel grounded and unmoving? It's tough, but this is what we're working on in week 29. And that's the balance. That's the balance of yoga, the dichotomy. As you sit here, becoming aware of the fact that as the sun travels across the sky, the light and shadows and colors are changing virtually moment by moment in the mountain stillness. So your backdrop of life, the circumstances may change. You may be moving houses. You may be pregnant and getting a divorce. A parent may be ill or passing. So the sky is changing colors, but you are tasked to be still as a mountain. And the surface of the mountain teams up with life and activity, streams melting, snow, waterfall, plants, and wildlife. All this is going on in the mountain. And as the mountain sits and seeing and feeling how night follows day and day follows night, the bright warm sun followed by the cool night sky studded with stars, and the gradual dawning of a new day. Through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, yet always being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abiding all change. In summer, there is snow on the mountain, except perhaps for the very peaks In summer, there's no snow. I apologize. Except in Australia, I guess. So there's no snow in the summer, unless you're in Australia, I guess. But perhaps except on the peaks of the mountain. In Alaska, there's always white caps. Or in the crags, shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may wear a coat of brilliant fire colors, and in the winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may find itself at times enshrouded in clouds or fog, or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see this mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it is not a good day to see the mountain, that it is too cloudy or rainy or foggy or dark. But this is just the clothing of the mountain. Just the clothing changes. The mountain always remains itself. You may be pregnant or not pregnant. You're always remaining yourself. At times, visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow. To increase circulation, by the way, you can do like little foot taps. That helps. Or change your position entirely. None of these changes of the seasons matter to the mountain, which remains at all times essentially itself. Clouds may come and go. Tourists may like it or they may not like the mountain. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed one bit by whether or not people see it. Seen or unseen, in the sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night, it just sits, being itself. Think about that. The mountain always remains itself. It's not a product of its backdrop. Let's just take a moment to contemplate. At times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude, through it all the mountain sits. Spring comes, trees leaf out, flowers bloom in the meadows and slopes, birds sing in the trees once again. Streams overflow with the waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on its surface, by the world of appearances, remaining its essential self. Through the seasons, the changing weather, the activity, ebbing and flowing on its surface. In the same way, as you sit in meditation, you learn to experience the mountain. You embody the same central, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that challenges your life. Over seconds, over hours, over years. You experience constantly the changing nature of the mind and body and of the outer world. You have periods of light and darkness, activity, inactivity, moments of color and moments of darkness. You experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world. Mind and body, through it all, you remain deeply rooted and grounded. By embodying the mountain, you can emulate its strength and stability as your own. You can personify its energy to support you so that you can encounter each moment with mindfulness, equanimity, and clarity. You will begin to understand and know that your thoughts, feelings, perceptions, emotional crisis, and everything else that may happen is like the ever-changing weather, and that you are the magnificent mountain. Ultimately, you will come to know a deep stillness and wisdom. You may know your strength, you may find equanimity, and you may be grounded and centered. Begin to gently deepen your breath, wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you are ready, gently open your eyes. As you come into awareness, please move your body a little bit, increase the circulation. I'm going to, I think my phone was a little low on batteries. I just plugged it in. It is live on YouTube, so blips and bloopers and all. So with that grounding meditation, please feel free to take a drink of water, whatever your favorite drink is. Share Love Fund has a really nice inspirational mug. Strong back, soft front, wild heart, just be you. Brene Brown says this: strong back, soft front, wild heart, just be you. So this is sort of the theme of our meditation today. The backdrop of the mountain changes with the fog and the clouds. Even the covering or cloaking of the mountain changes with snow and floral blooms. But in this meditation, we said the mountain always essentially remains itself. And on this mug, Brene Brown says, just be you. So you may be metamorphosing through the pregnancy, but always staying your essential self. You're not changing, just the pregnancy. Okay, so let's get to work. So what we're going to do is we are going to do our quick go-to warm-up. For practice, we're going to bring that into the sun salutation, our standard sun salutation. Then we are going to add our 7 poses of this sun salutation form that we have been working on. We will have a total review of this sort of series C sun salutation that we've been working on. We'll have a total review in week 32. Every week ending in a 2, as you recall, is a review week. So we'll get started. So take a comfortable seated position. It can be crisscross applesauce, lotus, sitting on a block. Peter, our lead trainer and guru with over 25 years of experience, he will always say sit on a block. He's a big proponent of the pelvis being higher than the knees, and this is the proper traditional yoga way. I created this program for incarcerated women during COVID, so we just have a really practical approach. So I don't require the block, but do as you're comfortable. So I will, that was a little bit of a longer meditation, so we'll go through the warm-up a little bit quicker, just to remember it. Again, this is maybe the best warm-up or maybe the worst warm-up or something in between, but at Share Love Fund, we have a repetitive approach because we teach to the lowest common denominator so that anybody who wants to become a confident yoga teacher can, whether they are incarcerated, whether they are illiterate, whether they are in high school and pregnant, which is a big part of our population. And I thank all of you for joining our paid teachable RPYT class because it funds our important outreach. So without further ado, for the warm-up, we start in easy seat. That's our first pose. Then we go into cat-cow for a spinal stretch. Here in cat-cow, Our approach is just to relax and feel good. So if you want to move around a little bit, feel free. We do some warm-ups in cat-cow. You can rock back or forward. In pregnancy, we don't do any twists, but you can do forward fold, back bend, and cat-cow. From here, we have two warm-up versions, so we'll do both. One is downward puppy, and then back to child's pose. Child's pose, you can put one cheek down, and you can always come to child's pose when something doesn't feel right. From child's pose, we'll inhale, come back up to downward puppy, do our cat-cows, and really use your breath to work through it. You can curl your toes under if you want more support. And here we're gonna do like an around the world, really trying to get into those nooks and crannies and do a hip stretch. And on the other side. If your wrists bother you in this position, Peter showed us a cool trick the other day where you can take a towel and actually have your wrists at a diagonal. So there's a lot more blood in the body during pregnancy, so it can be sensitive to that. So we'll do another cat-cow, also really stretching the neck. And we'll do in around the world the other way. Back to downward puppy, and then child's pose with the cheek on the other side. We always want to do both sides. We'll come up to a seated position. I'm just going to grab a water. I just got a call. I thought I was on focus on settings, but apparently not. So from the seated position, now we will do our other warm-up where we are going to go from a seated position again to cat-cow, but then we'll just stand up to Tadasana and forward fold. And we won't do downward puppy, which is really not an official pose, but I just modify because it feels good during pregnancy. Okay, so in when you want to make a longer warm-up also, you can add things while you're in easy seat. So one of the nice things that feels good is rainbow arms. So while you're pregnant, you cannot twist or turn. I'm not even going to show it on the video because some people watch and follow in silent, and so they don't know it's a no-no. So basically, I think about it as being a Lego. When you're a Lego, the whole torso is one piece, the neck is one piece. So you can move the neck, you can move the knees, but you can't twist the torso. You can't wring it out. So, but you can bend it. So I guess a Lego can't really do that, but so we can rainbow our arms. When we're rainbowing our arms, what we're thinking about is if our back was against a wall, would our back stay connected to the wall? We don't want to go forward, we don't want to go too far back. Here we're creating space in the rib cage, and yoga is about opposites. So anytime we are creating space, we are also contracting and reducing space somewhere else. So, be aware, listen to your body, breathe into it. And one of the things I like about doing rainbow arms as a stretch and calling it rainbow arms is that we're a product of our thoughts, right? And we have millions of thoughts, some good, some bad, some we don't even remember, some we're not even conscious of when we're sleeping. And if we make an effort to make more thoughts positive, we'll feel happier. Then we will attract sort of positive movers and shakers into our lives. And then it will just be like a domino effect of positivity. So even for our incarcerated women clients, saying rainbow arms, it brings a rainbow into any situation. So we can lean deeper into this. So rainbow arms are a great thing to do in the seated position. Another one is inhale and leaning forward to the extent that there's space for the belly. Also hip circles. We did this a little bit with our around the world and cat-cow, but we can get a little more into it here. So from these hip circles, it's a great segue into cat-cow. So we'll continue that. So roll on over to table. And this is our second go-to warm-up for you to have in your back pocket as a teacher. These warm-ups are really simple. They're only 4 poses each. And the point is so that it's not too much to remember so that anybody can become a yoga teacher under our program, and a confident one at that. A good and confident one. And then for people who can handle more information, you can add to these 4 poses. So here we have cat-cow. On the inhale, we'll come up to Tadasana. In Tadasana, our feet are hip width apart, firmly grounded, shoulders down. If you're not sure if your shoulders are up, you can give them a little tap. You can put your palms forward and then rest them. Putting your palms forward helps pull your shoulders back a little bit. And then rest the arms. Chin up, soft gaze. Engage the glutes, squeeze the thighs out. Grab onto the mat with your toes as if they're monkey hands. And make Tadasana work for you. You know, when you are pregnant, you're tired. And there's a lot to do. If you're preparing for a baby, maybe you have to clothe shop because your clothes don't fit. So if you can be in the grocery store or waiting for the subway and do a Tadasana that counts and like really engage yourself here, activate yourself here, you know, zip it up, then you don't have to go necessarily to an exercise class. You can make your daily life an exercise class in little 2-minute, 5-minute increments by just being present and being engaged. So here we have Tadasana. So this is a warm-up, even though we're being active and really using our muscles here. This is a warm-up because it gets you in touch with your body. So if you're not sure if you're engaging your core, you can put a hand on it. And sometimes when you put a hand, just naturally it engages. Now it's a little hard when you're pregnant to know whether it's engaged, and that's why another reason why these muscles get loose. If you're not sure if it's engaged, then kind of go into chair, because it really kind of forces it to get engaged. And you know, like think about athletic position or skier position, maybe do some hops if you feel safe with that pregnant, and then come back to Tadasana. So this may seem elementary, but it's not if you're doing it right. And when you do Tadasana at the beginning, it wakes up all these muscles so they get to work for the rest of the class. Okay, we'll do the last pose of this warm-up. Exhale, forward fold. In this forward fold, we're just hanging. The back is curved. You can hold opposite shoulders. and come up. Okay, I'm going to get a t-shirt so I don't have an outfit snafu, and we're going to go get to work with now the meat of the class. The warm-up is done, and we're going to do our basic sun salutation, which is just our salad with no toppings, and then we will do sun salutation C, the first half that we're working on, the first 7 poses. So I'll be right back. Okay, awesome. Okay, dress for success. So now let's start with our sun salutation. So I'm going to move this a little more. So as you recall, in our RYT 200, RPYT and RCYT, we use sun salutation A as our framework, and then we add our 45 key poses to that. For our RYT 300, we use sun salutation B for our framework and the 84 poses of Hatha Yoga as our toppings. And for our YT 500, we do it all. Okay, so sun salutation A. Tadasana, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, back to plank. Now we modify a little bit in the prenatal class because knees, chest, chin doesn't really work for our prenatal clients. So we modify the up dog to create space for the belly. Then we go to cobra. Then we go to down dog. Here in down dog, this is where we normally insert all of our special toppings to spice up our sun salutation, but first we're just going to do the basic sun salutation as a reminder. Inhale, left leg in, bring it forward. Same with the right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Inhale all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's do that on the other side. So this is basic sun salutation A on the other side. Again, our system is based on repetition, and so we're just going to repeat because this is a teacher training. So at the end of the day, you're going to know these routines 15 minutes after mortality. So inhale, from Tadasana, inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, step the right foot back, and we'll go to plank. From plank, we have the prenatal modification to up dog to create space for the belly. From up dog, we're going to do cobra. From cobra, you're going to go back to down dog. This is where we would insert our special ingredients to spice this up, but this is just a review of the basic sun salutation A. So we will bring our right leg in, through our legs, left leg to match. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Inhale all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. Now let's do sun salutation A, but this is our C version with the 7 poses we've learned to date with this set. So we start, as usual, with sun salutation A, and we'll insert our ingredients. We can think of sun salutation A as the garden salad, and each additional pose, which will be tree pose, dancer pose, eagle pose, extended hand to foot, squat, hero's pose, and today, our pose of the week, Thunderbolt pose. We can think of that as like our tomatoes, onions, pickles, capers, all the sort of ingredients to spice up our salad, because healthy eating is important too, as in our book, Broadening Our Horizons. now available on Amazon with 30 recipes, 30 healthy recipes. Okay, so our spiced up sun salutation, our own share method version. See? Tadasana, upward salute, forward fold, half bend, left leg back, right leg back, plank, up dog, modification for prenatal, cobra, exhale, down dog. Now we spice it up. So we will inhale our left leg forward and bring it up. Bring our right leg to match. Slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae to not be dizzy, and we will work on balance. So tree pose. If you are pregnant and uncomfortable, you can just do this. If you're comfortable, you can do this. Remembering the key to balance is two things. A quiet mind helps balance. Focusing your eyes on a focal point, like a dot on the wall. Core strength is a big part of balance. So engaging the glutes, engaging the core. And breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Sometimes when we're in a pose we're uncomfortable with, we hold our breath. You can come out of this and back into it. You can feel free to modify. If you are uncomfortable with tree pose, what I recommend for teacher trainees, since you are getting your teacher degree and critical thinking and good judgment is key for teachers, I recommend thinking about what the pose is trying to achieve. So this pose is trying to achieve the benefits of balance. So that is converging the mind and strengthening the core. So even if you are in Tadasana and you are engaging your core and focusing your thoughts on your breath, that achieves this result. When you're ready, you can slowly bring your foot down and shake it out, your standing leg. We can sort of take a breather, doing the rainbow arms, shake it out. And when you're ready, we can do tree pose on the other side. If this feels good, you can just kind of do toe taps. And when you do toe taps even, you're engaging the side body, or you can come up to tree. Engaging your core, picking a gaze on a spot on the wall to focus on, or an object to look at. Engaging your abs, engaging your glutes, relaxing your shoulders, remembering to breathe. Focusing your thoughts is also very helpful in balancing poses. And one way to do that is to focus on your breath. Try to think of your breath as a circle with no start or no end, just a continuum, continuous nourishment for your mind, body, and soul. When you're ready, you can come out of this by slowly bringing your foot down. So our next pose to spice up this sun salutation is dancer pose. So you can just use this as a quad stretch, holding onto wall if that's easier. If you feel comfortable, you can go into the full dancer pose. The general rule with pregnancy is whatever you were doing before you're pregnant is generally okay to maintain, but please consult your doctor. Nothing herein shall be construed as medical advice. This is not, it's not reasonable to expect person-specific medical direction via YouTube. So do what's comfortable. If it's comfortable to do dancer pose and you've done it before, you're pregnant, then feel free. Again, soft gaze and working on balance. Shake it out, and then on the other side, on the other leg, we'll keep, so we did this one, okay, sorry. I tried to, sometimes we get mixed up on the legs as teachers. So it's a practice, not a perfect, and that's what we get on live. So if this quad stretch is enough for you, then that's great. If you want to fully go into dancer, and then you can shake it out. From dancer, our next pose is eagle pose. So we bring one leg forward. This is also something you can do in a chair. Wrap it around, bringing the arms up. Shake it out, bring it around. Arms on the other side. Shake it out. We will do extended hand to foot. So you kind of bring your knee in, kind of like a kung fu thing. And then inhale and up. And we'll try on the other side. And don't worry where you are now. You also can use a strap. You don't need even a fancy yoga strap. It could be just a belt. And this is a way that you can do it at your comfort level. Kind of just like this, and then you can bring it up to the amount that it's comfortable with. Do it to the other side. Bringing your foot in, sort of like you're doing Tai Chi. And inhale and out. Shake it out. We'll draw inward with a squat. And squats can feel so good when you're pregnant. This can also be a meditation pose. Here we're trying to have our head long, our tailbone down. From our squat, we will go into hero's pose. Hero's pose is like Thunderbolt, except our calves are kind of peeled out. And actually our tailbone is on the ground to the extent that it works. From hero's pose, we go into our pose of the week. Thunderbolt pose, this is it, Thunderbolt pose. And from Thunderbolt pose, we will finish the sun salutation by pushing up into down dog. Putting our left knee into our chest, stepping it forward, right leg to meet it. Forward fold, inhale, half bend. Inhale all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. So let's do that quickly on the other side. The cool thing about this routine is that we can do it all within the same sun salutation. So it'll look pretty much the same, but it's just a good review. So each, for the next few weeks, we'll be adding on 2 more poses until we have 9 ingredients into the salad. Now we have the 7 ingredients, which are tree pose, dancer pose, eagle pose, extended hand to foot pose, squat, hero's pose, Thunderbolt pose. Those are the 7 toppings we are adding to this sun salutation. We'll add 2 more in the coming weeks, next week and the week after, and then week 32 will be, week 32 will be a review of everything. So, okay, so we're just going to review that one more time. Upward Tadasana, upward salute, exhale, forward fold, inhale, half bend. This time we bring the right leg back, then the left leg to plank. Inhale, up dog as our prenatal modification. Exhale, cobra, also a prenatal modification because we have baby cobra in the RPYT 200. Exhale, down dog. Now we insert our toppings. Inhale, right leg forward since we want to kind of keep it even. Left leg to meet, and we do both sides again on this side. So tree pose, we'll do a little shorter since it's a review. Tree pose on the other side. Dancer pose. Dancer pose. Eagle pose. Eagle pose. Extended hand to foot. Extended hand to foot. Squat. Hero's pose. Thunderbolt pose. Back to downward dog. Right leg in. Bring it forward. Left leg comes to match. Forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Inhale all the way up to upper salute. Exhale, Tadasana. So way to go. We'll just come back for a little feel good departing stretch. You can come to your back. In prenatal, we don't want to be in our back too long, and we certainly don't want to do any twists, but you can bring your knees to your chest a little bit wide to make space for the belly. Hold onto your toes and do a little rocking back and forth for a happy baby. Here, if it feels good, you can use your arms to kind of push your legs back down. If it's too much, or you want to stretch the front part of the leg, you can do a half happy baby. And this can be a nice way to stretch in the morning between the snooze button and daily life. Bring our knees together, cross them. Oh, we're so fancy. Grab your ankles and stretch, keeping room for the belly. Don't put any pressure on the belly. And you may feel this in one side of the glute. And here we can just take a minute to really open this area up. And we'll crisscross on the other side. Oh, we're so fancy. Grab your ankles and stretch this other glute for a few breaths. Making room for the belly. Again, we'll come back to happy baby. rocking side to side, massaging all the organ areas. Coming to the side, not twisting, just like, I like to think of this as kind of a robot, like, so that we don't injure the baby. Hands on the knees, come to the side. And then as you're ready, slowly bring yourself up to seated position. Some people get lightheaded, so as you're teaching others, encourage them to come up slowly. And congratulations, you are now confident in Thunderbolt pose, pose 29 of our 45 key Share Love Fund, the Share Method signature poses. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for taking our RPYT yoga teacher training. If you have not signed up already, you can at sharelove.fund/train. Have a blessed day.